Hello everybody, I am Dr. Poorna Bose, working as a professor and HOD in Government VYT PG Autonomous College. Now, today I am delivering one lecture on scattering cross section, and it is included in the syllabus of MSc second semester and paper 1 and in unit 2. So let us start with the topic. Let us start with the topic. Scattering cross section. The angular distribution of particle scattered by a fixed center of force or by other particles is described in terms of the scattering cross section. Suppose that a group of n particles are bombarded with scattering centers with a parallel flux of n particles, capital N particles per unit area per unit time, and count the number of incident particles that emerge per unit time in a small solid angle delta omega centered about a direction that has direction polar angles theta 0 and phi 0 with respect to the bombarding direction as polar axis. So this is mentioned in figure 1. This is shown in figure 1. The incident particle is coming along this direction, and this is the position of the scatterer. Now the cone formed here gives us the solid angle. Now the polar angles are theta 0 and phi 0, which are given here. Now bombarding direction, and this makes an angle of theta 0 and phi 0. The number will be proportional to capital N, small n, and delta omega, provided that the flux is small enough so that there is no interference between the bombarding particles and no appreciable diminution of the bombarded particles by their recoil out of the target region, and also that the bombarded particles are at such direction that collision takes place only once. Let J be the magnitude of the incident flux, rho be the number of particles per unit volume in the incident beam, V be the velocity of the particles. Then J, that is current density, is equal to rho into V as shown in the figure 2. So this is the unit area taken here. Rho is the velocity of the particles, V is the velocity of the particles, and rho is the density, and J be the current density. Then J is given by rho into V. Now rho being small, then N is given by N, which is small n, which is proportional to capital N, J into d omega. Now, or we can write small n equal to sigma function of omega, capital N, J multiplied by d omega, where sigma omega is the proportionally constant which has dimension of surface area and is characteristic parameter of collision of particle with target, now known as differential cross-section of the particle of the target in the direction omega, which is function of theta 0 and phi 0. Now, in the above expression, equation 1, sigma omega multiplied by d omega is equal to the cross-sectional area of the parallel incident beam that contains the number of particles scattered into d omega by a single target particle or scattering center. The integral of sigma, which is function of theta 0 and phi 0 over the surface, is called the total scattering cross section. The total number of particles scattered in unit time is obtained by integration of small n over all angles and is equal to capital N total is equal to integration of sigma function of omega n multiplied by j into d omega. This is equal to nj sigma total. Now, where sigma total is equal to integration of sigma function of omega multiplied by d omega. Let it be equation number 1. So, the sigma total is the total scattering cross section, and we have given the definition of total scattering cross section and differential scattering cross section, which is given by sigma omega, and it is shown in the equation 1. Now let us start with the definition of scattering amplitude. The wave equation for relative motion of a particle of mass m having energy capital E and momentum p equal to h cross k, where k is the wave vector, is given by Schrödinger wave equation, that is minus h cross square by twice m del 2 psi k plus v psi k equal to e psi k, which is equation number 1, which is given by equation number 1. Now the wave function psi may be written as a function of theta and phi, and the radial distance r between the two particles. Hence, psi can be written as psi equal to psi k, function of r, the radial part, theta and phi. Which now the scattering is determined by the asymptotic form of psi k, which is function of r, theta and phi in the region where v equal to 0, where the colliding particles are far apart, that represents an incident wave, and the other representing a scattered radially outgoing wave, that is psi k, which is function of r, theta and phi, is equal to limit of r tending to infinity e raised to the power of iota k z plus f omega e raised to the power of iota k r by r. This is, let it be equation number 2, where k is wave vector and it is given by m into v upon h cross. The first term of equation 2 represents a particle moving in the positive z direction or along the polar axis theta. Since z equal to r cos theta, it is an infinite plane wave where the propagation vector k has a magnitude. K of k is directed along polar axis. The second term of the above equation represents a particle moving radially outward. Now, this equation 2, this is the second part of the equation 2. Now, its amplitude depends on theta and phi and is inversely proportional to r. Since the radial flux must fall off as the inverse square of the distance. Now, it is readily verified that equation 2 satisfies equation 1 asymptotically through terms of order of 1 by r in the region in which v equal to 0 for any form of the function f function of theta and phi. The asymptotic form are easily interpreted if we take the current density. Now, where J is the current density, let it be the current density. It is given equal to H cross by twice M multiplied by psi star del psi minus psi del of psi star, where psi star is the complex conjugate of psi. Let it be equation number 3. The plane wave term e raised to the power of iota k dot z represents a wave of unit density and current density h cross k by m. Now, retaining only the lowest order in r, the term f omega multiplied by e raised to the power of iota k r by divided by r represents a wave density of absolute value of f omega whole square by r square and of current density f omega absolute value whole square upon r square multiplied by h cross k upon m, directed along the direction omega towards increasing r, that is outgoing wave. In fact, since the effect of the potential v function of r can be neglected in the asymptotic region, therefore, according to classical approximation, we can interpret the form e raised to the power of iota k dot z as a beam of momentum as a beam of monoenergetic particles of momentum h cross k and of density 1. Now, representing the incident beam and the term f omega e raised to the power of iota k r upon r is interpreted as a beam of particles emitted radially from the scattering center and represents a beam of scattered particles. So the number of particles emitted per unit time into the solid angle d omega located in the direction of omega. Hence, the density of the scattered particle rho s is given by, now this equation is given by rho s equal to absolute value of f function of omega e raised to the power of iota z by r absolute value whole square. This is equal to 1 upon r square absolute value of f omega whole square. Now let it be equation number 4. Now the solid angle is given by, the area of the solid angle is given by r dot r into d omega. This is equal to r square into d omega as shown in the following figure. This is the figure. This is the incident beam of particles are coming in this direction, and this is the solid angle formed. The total, the values are given by r plus dr, and here it is given by r, and the area, and this is the area of the solid angle, and that is the dimension of the solid angle, that is r into d omega. So therefore, so this is the value of r. Now these are the spherical waves which are spherical radial waves which are coming. So the area is given by r square into d omega as shown in this figure. The volume of the element between r and r plus dr is r square d omega into dr, because this is the distance r plus dr, and the area is given by r square d omega, so multiplied by this dr. So this is the value of volume. Now volume of the solid angle. So the number of particles in this volume element, this is given by ns. This is equal to rho s multiplied by the volume element, that is r square d omega into dr. Now substituting value of rho s from equation 4 we have. Now this is the equation 4, equation number 4. This is the value of rho s. Now we are substituting the equation from value from the equation number 4. We have ns equal to absolute value of f function of omega whole square upon r square multiplied by r square d omega multiplied by dr, which is equal to f function of omega whole square dr into d omega. Let it be equation number 5. The number of particles scattered per unit time. This is given by dns by dt. This is equal to f function of omega absolute value whole square multiplied by d omega multiplied by dr by dt. Now dr by dt is velocity. Therefore we have, this is equal to f omega whole square d omega multiplied by v. So this can be equated as f omega absolute value whole square d omega, and substituting the value of velocity from above, we have h cross multiplied by h cross k upon m. So we have f function of omega whole square h cross k by m multiplied by d omega. This is equation number 6, where J is the current density and J is equal to rho V. This is equation number 7. Now, since the beam of particles is traveling in the same direction on with the velocity v, so the flux is the number of particles crossing perpendicular per unit time. But rho equal to 1, the incident particle. Therefore, value of J, if rho is 1, we have J equal to rho into V. So J equal to V, and this is equal to minus H cross K by M. Let it be equation number 8. Now if sigma function of omega is the scattering cross section, the number of particles in the solid angle d omega per unit time is equal to J multiplied by sigma function of omega multiplied by d omega. This is equal to H cross K by M sigma omega function of omega multiplied by d omega. Now using equation number 8. Now comparing equation 6 and 9, we get, if we compare equation number 6, this is equation number 6 and this is equation number 9 we have just derived. So by comparing, we have H cross K by M multiplied by sigma omega equal to F omega whole square multiplied by H cross K by M into d omega. Therefore sigma omega equal to F omega absolute value whole square. Let it be equation number 10. Now here F omega is called the scattering amplitude. Now hence the total scattering cross section is given by sigma total equal to integration of sigma omega d omega. Now sigma omega is the differential scattering cross section, and by substituting the value of sigma omega, that is differential cross section, which is equal to absolute value of F omega whole square, we have now sigma total equal to integration of F function of omega whole square d omega. Now this is all about sigma, how sigma total, that is total scattering cross section, is related with amplitude of scattering. So this is the and how it is related with differential scattering cross section. Now thank you very much for listening to my lecture.